Here is something that happened this week in America simultaneously. A person filled up their tank at $4.53 a gallon, did the math on what that means for the rest of the month, and quietly moved money from savings to checking to cover the difference. And a person who owns the building that person rents, the company that refines the gas that person just bought, and a portfolio of index funds that went up 11% last year, looked at their quarterly statement and felt nothing in particular, because the numbers were doing what numbers do, when you understand how to position them correctly. Same economy, same week, same $4.53 at the pump. Completely different experience of reality. This video is about the difference between those two experiences, not the income difference, because the Rooster is not here to tell you that rich people make more money. You already know that, and it helps nobody. The difference in how they think about money before it ever gets to the gas station, before the paycheck, before the budget, at the level of what money actually is and what it's supposed to do. Because here's the thing that the financial industry, the school system, and everyone who benefits from you staying exactly where you are financially has never clearly explained. There are two completely different games being played with money in this country. Most people are playing one of them. The people building real wealth are playing the other. And the rules of the second game are not secret. They are not complicated. They are not available only to people who were born with access to them. They are just never taught to the people who need them most. The Rooster is teaching them today. The math doesn't care about your feelings, and today the math is on your side. Game one is the game most people play without knowing they're playing it. It goes like this. You earn income. Income arrives as a paycheck. The paycheck covers expenses, rent, food, gas, insurance, subscriptions, debt payments, the costs of being alive that this channel has been documenting since the first video. Whatever is left after expenses gets saved or spent on something that felt important in the moment, or quietly absorbed by a cost that came up unexpectedly, because unexpected costs always come up. Then the next paycheck arrives. And the cycle repeats. This is income thinking. And it is the default setting of the American financial experience, because it is the game the American financial system is designed to keep you playing. Paycheck to paycheck, expense to expense. The income arrives, and the system, rent, debt payments, subscriptions, gas, groceries, is waiting for it before you've made a single decision. In income thinking, money is something you earn and spend. Your financial life is determined by the gap between what comes in and what goes out. And since what goes out keeps growing, rent increases, gas at $4.53, groceries up 36%, insurance premiums rising, and what comes in grows more slowly. The gap between the two gets narrower every year. Sometimes it goes negative. The Rooster lived in income thinking for years. The Rooster understands income thinking from the inside. Here is what income thinking feels like. Every major financial decision is made under pressure. The car breaks down and it's a crisis because the margin isn't there. The medical bill arrives and it goes on the credit card because there's no alternative. The raise at work feels significant for about 3 months before the new salary level becomes the new normal and the expenses expand to meet it. The savings account exists but never seems to grow fast enough to matter. This is not a character flaw. This is what income thinking produces, predictably, every time. For everyone who plays by its rules. Game 2 has different rules entirely. In Game 2, money is not something you earn and spend. Money is something you deploy. The distinction sounds small. It is not small. It is the entire difference between a financial life that gets harder every year and one that gets easier. Between a retirement that might not be there and one that is inevitable. Between checking your bank account with dread and checking it with the calm confidence of someone who understands what the numbers are doing and why. In asset thinking, which is what Game 2 actually is, every dollar that comes in gets asked a question before it goes anywhere. The question is, what is this dollar going to do before it leaves? Some dollars pay for necessities. That is unavoidable, and the Rooster is not going to pretend otherwise. Rent has to be paid. Food has to be bought. Gas at $4.53 has to go in the tank if the tank needs to get you to work. These are not negotiable. But the dollars that don't have to go to necessities, the margin, however thin or wide it is, in asset thinking, those dollars do not go to lifestyle upgrades. They do not go to the newer car or the bigger apartment or the subscription that's nice but not essential. They go to assets. Assets are things that generate return, things that appreciate over time, things that work while you sleep. Index funds, real estate, a business, ownership stakes in things that produce value. The median homeowner has a net worth of $396,000. The median renter has $10,400. That gap is not primarily about income. It is about who owns an appreciating asset and who doesn't. The rooster doesn't have all the answers, but the rooster has all the questions they don't want you asking. And the most important one is this. Of every dollar that passes through your hands this month, how many of them are doing something after they leave? Here is the specific mechanism that separates the two games. And this is the part that the rooster needs you to actually understand, rather than just nod at. In income thinking, your net worth grows only when your income grows. If you earn more, you have more. If you earn the same, you have the same. The equation is linear. Income in, expenses out, small remainder. Net worth moves slowly, if at all. In asset thinking, your net worth grows even when your income stays the same, because the assets are growing independently. The index fund that went up 11% last year didn't ask for your permission. It didn't require your labor. It didn't care that gas went to $4.53, or that your rent increased, or that your company gave you a 3% raise that inflation ate before you felt it. It just grew, because that is what assets do over time when you give them time to do it. This is compound growth. And the reason the rooster wants you to understand it at the level of a mechanism rather than a concept is that once you see it clearly, it stops being an abstraction and starts being the most urgent thing in your financial life. $500 a month invested at a historically normal 7% annual return over 30 years becomes $566,000. The same $500 a month spent on lifestyle, a car upgrade, a bigger apartment, the things that feel like progress but don't appear on your balance sheet, becomes zero, less than zero when you count depreciation. You didn't earn different amounts. You deployed the same dollars differently. One version of you has $566,000 at the end. The other version has memories of a nicer car. Don't close this. The next 90 seconds are why this video exists. Here is what the people playing Game 2 actually do differently, not philosophically. Specifically, this week, they pay themselves first, not first after rent, not first after debt payments. First, before anything else leaves the account, before the expense cycle gets its hands on the paycheck. An automatic transfer set up once, running forever, moves a percentage of every paycheck into an investment account before the income thinking system can claim it. This is not a new idea. Every personal finance book written in the last 50 years contains some version of this advice. The reason the rooster is telling you again is not because it's new. It's because the gap between knowing this and doing this is where most people's financial futures disappear. The automatic transfer is the mechanism that converts income thinking into asset thinking without requiring daily discipline or perfect decision-making. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to resist spending it. It's gone before your brain registers it as available. And it's growing in an account that you are not checking every day, because it is not a checking account. It is an investment account. And investment accounts reward patience, not attention. They buy assets instead of status. The person playing Game 2 drives a car that is reliable and paid for, not impressive and financed. They live in housing that is appropriate for their income level, not housing that signals a lifestyle they are working toward. They wear clothes that last, not clothes that announce a brand. Every dollar not spent on status is a dollar available for deployment into something that compounds. The rooster is not telling you to live without pleasure. The rooster is telling you that the pleasure of a reliable financial foundation outlasts the pleasure of anything status can buy. And the person who built that foundation made 1,000 small decisions that looked boring from the outside and looked like freedom from the inside. They understand the difference between an expense that recurs and an asset that appreciates. A car payment recurs. A car depreciates. An index fund contribution recurs. An index fund appreciates. The dollar amounts can be similar. The outcomes over 30 years are not similar at all. Identifying which of your recurring expenses are building something and which are just recurring. That audit alone changes how most people allocate the next paycheck. Some coupes have golden doors. You're paying rent on the ones with no doors at all. The difference between the two is almost never income. It is almost always the decision, made repeatedly over years, about where the margin goes. Now, the Rooster needs to say something directly about the gas at $4.53. Because this video started there and the Rooster does not want you to leave thinking that asset thinking makes geopolitical oil price shocks irrelevant to your life. It does not. $4.53 a gallon is a real cost hitting real people who are already stretched, and the Rooster has documented exactly how stretched in the previous 6 videos. But here is what asset thinking does with $4.53. The person playing Game 1 looks at $4.53 and feels the squeeze directly. It compresses the margin. It adds to the stress. It is one more thing the system is taking before they've made a single decision. The person playing Game 2 looks at $4.53 and does 2 things simultaneously. They manage the immediate cost, same gas, same tank, same pump, same $4.53. And they look at which assets benefit from oil prices being high. Because assets are not just index funds. Energy stocks went up when oil went up. The person who owns a diversified portfolio that includes energy exposure is partially hedged against the gas price increase that is hurting them at the pump. Not fully, not painlessly, but partially. This is not advanced investing. This is the basic understanding that when prices go up somewhere, value is going somewhere. The question is whether any of it is going to you. In income thinking, you are always on the wrong side of price increases. In asset thinking, you can sometimes be on both sides simultaneously. The Rooster is not saying this to make the $4.53 feel smaller. It feels exactly as large as it is. The Rooster is saying this because understanding that price increases create value that goes somewhere, and that the somewhere can sometimes include your portfolio, is the beginning of seeing money the way Game 2 players see it. Not as something that happens to you. As something you can position. Here is where the Rooster lands. 2 games. Same economy, same paycheck for most people. Same $4.53 at the pump. Game 1. Income arrives, expenses claim it, remainder shrinks, net worth grows slowly, if at all. Every price increase feels like a personal attack because it compresses a margin that was already thin. Game 2. Income arrives, assets claim a portion first. Expenses get the rest, assets grow independently. Net worth builds even in months when nothing extraordinary happens. Price increases still hurt, but the portfolio absorbs some of the shock. The difference is not income. The median homeowner earning $63,000 who bought a house in 2010 is playing Game 2 without knowing it because the house is an asset that appreciated. The person earning $90,000 who upgraded their car every 3 years and rents a nice apartment is playing Game 1 without knowing it because everything they own depreciates. The game you're playing was chosen for you by default, by what was modeled for you, by what the financial system makes easy versus what it makes difficult, by advertising that makes consumption feel like progress and saving feel like sacrifice. You can choose differently. Starting with the next paycheck. Not by changing your income, by changing what the first dollars of that income do before the expense cycle claims them. Wake up earlier than the system expects. That's the whole strategy, the Rooster crowed. Whether you wake up is up to you. Rooster economy, because someone has to say it.